According to former ESPN draft analyst Todd McShay, of the dozen or so teams he talked to, the Broncos were the only team who had a round 1 grade on Nix. Everyone else had a backup caliber grade on him. But is Denver actually the one place where Bo is likely to become a future star in the NFL? Bo Nix is known for his quick release, his high football intelligence, and his above-average athleticism. He had almost 2,000 attempts over the course of his 5-year college career and led all starting quarterbacks last year in completion percentage. Most draft experts had Bo Nix projected to be a late first, early second round pick. But with 5 quarterbacks going in the first 10 picks, Denver couldn't wait till later in the draft to grab Bo. They had legitimate concerns that teams like the Raiders and Seahawks may take him before they could get back on the clock. They made the call and drafted the guy they had been on for months. While Bo comes with a lot of great qualities, there are also plenty of reasons to have concerns about his ability to play in the NFL. He wasn't the 6th quarterback taken for no reason.
The biggest concern about Bo can essentially be boiled down to how accurate he can be. I know you're probably confused because we just said that he led the country in completion percentage, but here is the absolute thing about him. Only 30% of his targets went beyond 10 yards, which was among the lowest percentage out of all draft-eligible quarterbacks, and only 10% of his targets went beyond 20 yards, which was in the bottom 5 of all quarterbacks. So while his completion percentage may be good in these categories, it is being supported by the lack of attempts downfield. When we look back at his last season at Auburn, where 40% of his attempts were beyond 10 yards, we see a much different Bo Nix. His overall completion percentage plummeted from an excellent 77% down to a below average 60%. So does Denver have the pieces in place to cover up where Bo does not excel at? We are going to answer that and at the end explain how Bo may actually become a top 10 quarterback.
First, we need to check out the offensive line. At Oregon, Bo played with one of the best offensive lines in the country. He only took 6 sacks all year, tied for the 2nd fewest in the FBS, and had the lowest total pressures of the passer of any kind. This is important because while Bo has the ability to extend plays, it also increases the chances of throws further downfield. On plays Bo was under pressure at Oregon, which wasn't often, his average depth of target went up 2 yards and his completion percentage dropped 11 points compared to when he was kept clean. So it is important that the Broncos have a top unit that allows Bo to play in structure. Bo goes from a line that consistently kept him upright at Oregon to a Broncos line that finished top 10 in pass blocking efficiency, according to PFF. I like to think somewhere rookie David Carr is recreating this Jim Carrey gif before getting sacked for the 77th time. Jokes aside, the Broncos had a good offensive line in 2023, but they did take a huge hit losing center Lloyd Cushenberry to the Tennessee Titans in free agency. Currently, Lloyd's replacement is projected to be former Duck Alex Forsyth, a 7th round pick last year. Forsyth actually played with Nix at Oregon and gave a huge recommendation to Sean Payton to draft Bo. Forsyth is known for his high football IQ, an important trait for being a good center, and his pass blocking ability. He got a grade of 85.8 from PFF during his last season at Oregon. The Broncos have faith that Forsyth can fill the hole left by Cushenberry. So the O-line seems solid and should allow Bo to play from the pocket. Next, we need to check out the receivers.
The perfect receiver for Bo's strengths has to be one that can separate quickly, make people miss in space, and run precise routes. Good thing they already have a receiver that can do all that in Jerry Jeudy. Wait, my co-host just told me that Jerry Jeudy has been traded to the Cleveland Browns. Well then, I guess it's time for plan B, which that is Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin was one of Bo's favorite targets at Oregon, and the Broncos drafted him in the 4th round of the 2024 NFL Draft. We already did a breakdown of Franklin on our channel, which you can find down below in the description box, so we're just going to cover the highs and the lows right now. He's mostly known for being a vertical threat because of his great speed and quick release. His weaknesses are his limited release package and lack of physicality. He also wasn't asked to run hard-breaking routes at Oregon and struggled with drops sometimes. I would expect Franklin to be the yards after catch guy for Bo Nix. Franklin's ability to make guys miss in space and take a short pass to the house is really underrated. He was 2nd on the Ducks and missed tackles forced last season in yards after the catch. Bo really needs a receiver like Franklin. When your strength is distributing the ball out quickly, you need a guy who is able to pick up extra yards for you after the catch. Franklin also had the added benefit of being able to take the top off of defense. Nix had a 123.8 passer rating when targeting Troy Franklin deep at Oregon. This ability keeps defenses honest and prevents safeties from creeping up to take away the short pass. The Broncos also have Marvin Mims, who averaged 17 yards a target at Oklahoma, is an excellent deep ball receiver. While deep shots may be a weakness for Bo Nix, he will have to occasionally hit those throws to keep the underneath passes open. Denver has two receivers that can make the most out of those attempts when they come. That gets us to the last piece we need to check here, and that is the most important piece, which is the coach.
Sean Payton runs the purest remaining version of the West Coast offense in the NFL today. I know that term West Coast offense gets thrown around a lot when talking about offense, and I think we need some clarification. A lot of teams will steal concepts or plays from the West Coast offense, but most teams don't commit to the philosophies behind it. The West Coast offense prioritizes short, high-percentage passes to receivers that are able to pick up yards after the catch. This short passing game is ideal for stretching defenses horizontally and opening up run lanes and vertical shots. The perfect quarterback for this system is one that can identify open receivers quickly and accurately, and deliver passes in tight quarters to those receivers to set them up to pick up yards after the catch. Bo Nix is the ideal quarterback for this system. The system doesn't require him to push the ball down the field and allows him to play to his exact strengths. With this being a Sean Payton offense, you know we have to make the comparison. Drew Brees' average depth of target was 8 yards exactly for his career. Bo Nix's, 8.1 for his college career. The similarities don't stop there. They also had very similar completion percentages. Brees had a career completion percentage of 68.6, while Bo posted a 65.9 completion percentage. So is the comparison to Brees why we think Bo will quickly become a top 10 quarterback?
Not exactly. The reasoning is more based on Patrick Mahomes than Drew Brees. Let me explain here. When doing research for this video, I came across a great article by Jeff Essary that lays out how Sean Payton's offense works and how defenses are changing in the NFL. We will put up a link down below if you want to check it out. It is an awesome piece. Essentially, there has been an increase in defenses running two high safeties as a response to Patrick Mahomes and his legendary ability to push the ball downfield. Going with a too high look gives you more deep coverage to take away any potential shots down the field. Defenses also need to deploy more coverage savvy free safety types instead of bigger box safety types, meaning a team can't easily switch back and forth from a too high to a one high look. The downside of the too high look is it takes a defender out of the box and makes defenses more susceptible to runs and short high percentage passes. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have already made the adjustment to play more dink and dunk style of offense. Mahomes had a 6.1 air yards per attempt during the 2023 season, which put him bottom 5 in that category. Sean Payton's offense has been preparing for this for decades. The article concludes by saying, and I quote, "With Russell Wilson no longer in the picture for Denver, look for whoever starts at quarterback next year to lean more towards this short, efficient passing approach as Payton looks to further implement his offensive vision." More importantly, it seems that Payton's offensive strengths are coinciding perfectly with a league that's shifting more towards efficient, dink and dunk style offense to counter the prevailing defensive tendencies. With those strengths perfectly aligning with how Sean Payton loves to operate and defenses shifting to giving up short passes, we could quickly see Bo take the league by storm with a quick, high efficient offense.
The biggest obstacles that may prevent Bo from performing at the same level he did at Oregon are the weapons around him and rookie growing pains. Bo has played a lot of snaps in college, but how quickly he can adjust to NFL defenses is obviously going to play a large part in determining his ceiling for the season. The other part is the weapons around him. Currently, only Troy Franklin is a strong yards after catch receiving weapon the Broncos have. While Mims is a good returner, his ability relies more on his speed rather than his ability to make defenders miss in space. Sutton is a solid red zone threat, but again, not known for breaking tackles. If Bo's weapons around him can't pick up yak, then this offense is going to be very tough to watch.
So just to recap here, the Broncos are putting Bo behind a good offensive line, giving him his favorite college weapon that can pick up yards after the catch in a hurry, and pairing him with a head coach who has spent decades perfecting an offensive philosophy that pairs perfectly with his strengths. To put a cherry on top, thanks to Patrick Mahomes, defenses are naturally shifting to a style of play that would allow Nix's style of play to flourish. Yeah, don't be surprised when you see Bo Nix throw for over 3,000 yards this season. The biggest concern right now is the Broncos' offensive weapons. If they can get Bo one or two more guys who are great in space, there is no reason Bo can't be talked about as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
But tell us what you think. What else could the Broncos do to set Bo up for success? If you want to check out another video from us, I recommend this one right here. We set out to answer who won the Stafford Goff trade. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button. Until next time, we've been the RFL Show, and we'll see you in the next video.